Morning. My name is Rao. Today we will discuss about the chapter the Indian Constitution. The definition is the Constitution of India. The Constitution of the country is the collection of the basic rules provided the framework for the governments of the country. The Constitution is adopted to establish the government machinery to maintain the social order and the peace. The launder of the state, it will explain. Actually, why we need the constitution? The constitution is need because it develops the trust and the coordination between the different kinds of people to live peacefully. Example, in India, we are living many religion, many people in many different states having different culture. All we should be live together peacefully. The second is it highlights the structure of the government, its composition and the division of the powers. It tells who has to do and who has to follow whose the decisions and follow the rules. It clearly indicates the limits on the power of the government and guarantee the rights of the people. We have the rights, every people have the right to live, and this will be explained in the coming slides. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who makes the constitution, Bajirao Ambedkar, who made the constitution. The importance of the constitution in the democracy. The constitution and especially constitutionalism must keep the democracy from running away. Running away means they behave uncontrollably and disputes. This means this constitution keeps the democracy from the deviations. It is not the legal act or it text that is decisive, even if it is the fundamental law. But the constitution arises from the set of the principles. It has a principle, the methods to follow, the institutions who has to follow, and which practice they have to do, and the norms that the function to limit power. We will discuss the key features of the Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution was adopted in 26th November 1949. It is came after the independence and enacted on 29th January 1950. We'll see the difference of the constitutions. One is the federalism. Federalism is a system of government in which entities such as the states or the provinces share the power with the government, national government, like USA, the United States government function according to the principle of the federalism. We will discuss the second one, which is related to the India. The parliamentary form of the government. The parliamentary system of the government means the executive branch. The executive branch of the government has the direct or the indirect support of the parliament. The support is usually shown by the vote of confidence. It means if any bills be provided, the majority of the members has to confirm, then only the bill will be passed. The relationship between the executive and the legislative in the parliamentary system is called the responsible government. Like India, we are following this parliamentary form of the government. And now we will discuss the separation of the powers. The constitution divides the states into three organs: the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. Legislature of India is called the Parliament, which consists of two houses, Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha is in the Lok Sabha. We have the member of Parliament, which is elected by the people, and the Rajya Sabha means which was elected by the executive members of the India. The second, the executive is the organ that implements the laws made by the legislation. It will follow the whichever the laws made in the parliament or the legislature, this will be followed. The judiciary is the organ of the government which settles the disputes related to the constitution matters. The disputes between the states or the state to government, or the disputes which will be not followed by the laws made by the legislature of India. The fundamental rights and the directive principles had their origins in the Indian independence movement, which strove to achieve the values of the liberty and the social welfare as the goals of the independent India. It means the liberty and the social welfare as the main goal of the Indian states. The development of the institutional rights India was inspired by the historical documents, means it was these rights were taken from the historical documents such as the England's Bill of Rights, the United States Bill of Rights, the France Declaration of the Rights of the Man. So each nation having different rules. The Indian Constitution taken the rules from these institutions and made the Indian Constitution. The demand for the civil liberties forms and the importance part of the Indian independent movement, with one of the objective of the Indian National Congress being to end discrimination between the British rule and the Indian subjects. This demand was explicitly mentioned in resolution adopted by the Indian National Congress between 1917 and 1919. The other one is the secularism. Secularism is the principle of separation of the government institutions and persons mentioned to represent the states from religious institutions and the religious dignitaries. The one main feature of the secularism is asserting the right to be free from religious rules. The right to be free from religious rules and teaching, or in the state declared to be the natural on the matter of belief. The matter of belief from the imposition by the government of religious or religious practices upon its people, means the government religious and the religious practice upon the people. Another manifestation of the secularism is the view the public activities and the decisions, especially political one, should be uninfluenced. It should be uninfluenced by the religious beliefs and the practice. Lastly, we will discuss about the fundamental rights. Which fundamental rights we have? We have the right to equality. So it means it should not be any deviation from person to person with respect to the caste, color, creed, gender, religion, and the money and the act. Everybody should have the equal rights. It means the second one is right to freedom. Right to freedom means everybody in the India can move from one corner to the other corner. Anybody can work anywhere without fear within the constitution rules. Third one is the right to freedom from the exploitation. For example, to stop the child laboring and the man hours, not hearing the people of labor for more work and giving more work without rest. These should be stopped. That means every person, the child should not work, and even the elders works will be should be taken the rest, and they have to pay according to the work. The fourth one is the right to freedom from religious. Every religion people have to believe their religion. They should be having freedom to do their practices like prayers and recitations. The third one, the other one is the cultural and education. These rights indicates every people can do their cultural activities according to their religious, and by taking the whenever the in the public places they can take the permission from the government, they can do the religious activities and without disturbing the others. The educational right means like right to equality. Everybody can do the educational irrespective of the caste and the religion. The final one is the right to the constitutional remedies. It means if the above 5 laws are not followed, the people, the citizens are allowed to complain and fight for the right they have. So this is the briefly about the constitution of the India. Thank you very much for what. Please like and subscribe this chapter. Thank you.